Okay, Michael, I can offer you a 12% raise, but you have got to ask for 15.
In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to research and negotiate before making an offer to purchase a home. Step by step, so keep watching. Josh Vecchio here, mortgage broker with Galloway, the home for home buyers across Australia. And today I'm going to walk you through my 6 things you need to do before making an offer on a property, breaking down how to research and negotiate like a boss. So let's jump in. And to keep up with all things property and finance, remember, subscribe below. 1. Gather intel. The most important thing when you're looking to gather intel is to gather as much information as possible. It's through this process you'll uncover where you can begin your negotiation low or whether you'll have to be aggressive and cut to the chase. Each property presents a unique opportunity. Therefore, to be successful, you'll need to adopt accordingly. Here are my 5 things you want to do to gather intel on the property you're interested in. 1. Who owns the property? How you negotiate with an owner versus an investor is 2 vastly different things. So knowing who owns the property is vital because of this. So here are the questions you want to ask the agent. Who owns the property? How long have they owned the property for? And were they living in this property or is it an investment property? 2. Sales record. The next thing you want to do is know when the property was last sold and what the property was sold for. If your agent doesn't give you this information, it's available both on realestate.com.au and onthehouse.com.au. It has all the information on these websites. Knowing this will give you an insight on just how much the owner is looking for and whether or not they'll be flexible on price. If they've owned it for 30 years, then you'd imagine they're going to be much more flexible than those who've only owned it for, say, 6 months. 3. Why are the owners selling this property? Are they going through a divorce? Is it a deceased estate? Is the owner being forced to sell? These are all vital questions you want to know and will really help you understand why the owner is looking to sell the property. 4. Current land valuation. To find this out, either get a copy of the recent rates notice through the real estate agent or ask your broker or banker to get this information from their RP data subscription. Knowing this will allow you to understand how much of a bargain you're getting. So if the property is selling for $500,000 and the land valuation is $400,000, you're essentially getting the home for $100,000. This will really help you understand how much of a bargain you're getting. 5. Price. It's common for properties to be listed without a price. So if this is the case for you, you want to ask the agent what the seller's expectations are. And don't be surprised if the agent shoots back saying that they're open to all offers. If this is the case, simply ask what the properties of similar qualities in the area are selling for over the last 3 to 6 months. This will help guide you in understanding what the owner is looking for. 2. The tools of the Titan. Okay, great. Now you've got the intel on the property. The next step is to dig deeper. And it's by doing so which will give you much more knowledge, not only the property, but also the agent. To do this, these are the 4 must tools you'll need to use. 1. Property prediction. Realaz.com is a great tool and I simply love this. It's a website owned by ANZ and essentially it's a tool which predicts the sale price of a property. It uses a whole host of data points from the agent's track record to the average list to sale price ratio in the suburb and even the market trends. And the predictions generally within a 5% deviation of the end sale price. It's such a powerful tool and gives you insight where the negotiation is likely to end and therefore will give you an understanding where you can begin. 2. Suburb trends. From median prices to demographic statistics, these are the 2 websites you want to use. propertyvalue.com.au and ozhouseprice.com. 3. Everything about the agent. This is where you want to find out how good or bad your real estate agent is. The more you know, the more you can prepare. The 2 sites I recommend is both Domain and Rate My Agent. Links in the description. And the main thing you want to know is how many properties have sold over the last 12 months and how quickly they've sold these properties for. Agents who have sold $20 million in property over the last 12 months are considered elite, and you can expect them having a very slick negotiation process. If this is the case for you, you want to prepare even more so because you want to be on the front foot from the beginning of the negotiations. 3. Lowballing. Before we get into how to negotiate like a boss, here are 3 things to keep in mind if you're looking to lowball. 1. Can you offer less than the asking price of a house? Yes, you can make an offer for as little or as much as you like. However, be warned, If you're too far off the market, it's not uncommon for the agent to simply ignore your offer. So this is the last thing you want to do, and be very careful. 2. How much should you offer on a house? The general rule of thumb is that you want to be within 10% of the asking price. Any less than this could simply mean the other side will walk away and not even consider your offer. So if your intelligence shows that the seller is open to all offers and that the property is worth much less than they're asking for, simply ignore the 10% rule. 3. What's considered a lowball offer? In short, all offers which are under 10% of the asking price is considered a low ball. So a real life example is if a property is listed for $500,000 and you offer $400,000, and because the offer was less than 10% of the asking price, know that the seller is very unlikely to respond. Therefore, if this is your plan, be prepared to make it a numbers game. 4. Mistakes to avoid when negotiating. Here are my 6 big mistakes when negotiating. 1. Speaking rather than listening. The movies have it all wrong. The one who does all the talking isn't the one who wins. The one who's asking the question is the one who's in control. It's because in doing so that you control where the conversation goes. 2. Being over-invested in the result. In entering into a negotiation, there are so many things outside of your control. For one, the seller's expectations. Therefore, it's extremely important that you understand this and therefore keep a level of separation between yourself and the end result. Real estate agents get record prices from emotional buying decisions. Therefore, it's by keeping your emotions at bay, being separated, and keeping to your game plan, which will ultimately give you the highest chance of success. 3. If you fail to plan, then prepare to fail. It's just that simple. So if you're considering beginning negotiations, have your game plan written down and follow this, so that if the time does come and you've reached your limit, you simply walk away. 4. Revealing all your cards. Too often is the case. Remember that the real estate agent works for the seller, not yourself. The seller is the one who pays for the real estate agent service. So be careful what you share with the real estate agent, because in the end, it'll be used for the seller's advantage. 5. Not creating dialogue. Whilst the agent doesn't work for you, it's best to keep them on side, no matter what they've done or said. The goal of a negotiation is to create dialogue. Therefore, we'll want to keep and maintain this. Keep your cool, show respect, and keep everything politically correct, so to say. Remember that all parties have the option to walk away at a moment's notice. And it's by understanding this that you can work towards mutual grounds. 6. Assuming everything is set. Know this, everything's up for grabs and there's nothing that can't be negotiated. From the price to the terms, it's all on the table to be agreed upon. So as long as both parties agree, then it's on. And in negotiations, there's really 2 areas which can be won, either terms or price. So if your counterpart is pushing for price, you'll need to push for terms, and vice versa. Remember this and always have an angle. 5. How to negotiate like a boss.
Now, the key to making money in a situation like this is to position yourself now before the settlement.
So here's the secret. To be successful in negotiation, you need to find something which doesn't relate to price. Because if you don't, then expect to pay a premium. It was late last year we helped one of our customers who was a first-time buyer. It was the second time visiting an open home they loved that they overheard another couple asking questions on the property they absolutely loved. The other couple were asking the real estate agent about rental yields. When our customers finally decided that they wanted to make an offer on the property, they were stunned in finding it was a multiple offer situation. Having called me to ask my opinion and telling me this story, I suggested that on their offer, they include a cover page about what buying this property would mean for them and their family. You see, having done a quick search on the property, I found that the owners had owned the property for over 20 years. Knowing that they were likely attached and wanting someone who would love it as much as they did, lo and behold, their offer was accepted. To put the icing on the cake, once the property was sold, the agent said to the couple, when handing over the keys, that an investor, the other couple, had offered much more for the property, but the owners chose them because of their story in wanting to keep the home they adored so much to serve another family as much as it did for them. You see, it wasn't about the money. It was about the feeling. It was about giving it to someone that was going to look after it. So in every successful negotiation, you want to aim to understand the primary motives of why the owners are looking to sell. Remember that it's not always price, which ultimately is the deciding factor. So if you don't look at other angles, it means the only lever you've got to pull is that of price. And remember this, negotiation isn't a win at all cost game. If you do this, don't expect the other party to play around for long. Remember that both parties are free to leave the table at any time. There's no obligation for either to continue the conversation. It's by understanding that the two things up for grab are either price or terms. So for example, if the owner's wanting to settle in 60 days and you'd prefer 30 days, rather than disagreeing on the terms, push back on the price. So you could say, we agree to extending the settlement to 60 days. On the proviso, you reduce the price by $5,000. So when you're negotiating, if your counterpart is pushing for one, say terms, then you push for the other, in this case price. 6, offers. Finally, a quick tip when you're looking to make offers. Always make sure you put these in writing. Do this either via an expression of interest or contract, and be sure always to include a deadline when your offer is no longer valid. It's by putting your offer in writing that'll ensure that it'll be passed through the owner, as verbal offers are easily ignored. The biggest takeaway in negotiating is that price isn't everything. And it's by understanding this that will help you get the most out of the process. So now it's over to you. Are you looking to buy a house? Did you know here at Hunter Galloway we help people across Australia? Whether you're in New South Wales, ACT, or even WA, we're here to help. So whether you're looking to refinance, purchase, or build, you're in good hands. Simply reach out and call us on 1300 088 065 or visit us online, huntergalloway.com.au. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit that subscribe button now, and I'll see you next time.